Hi everyone, so today, thanks for joining me by the way. Today I'm just going to take you through a very basic level Pilates class. So if you've never done one before, you could follow this. This could be your first one. So I'm going to take you through the connection of your pelvic floor and your core and then work you through a class. Okay, so lying down on your back, feet in line with hips. Relaxing down, lengthen your arms down by your sides and just start to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. So make them deep breaths and take your hands either around your ribcage to the sides, or you can take them to either side, whichever one is more comfortable. And I want you to concentrate on spreading your rib cages wide into your hands and down into the mat. So you want your rib cage to expand in all directions, getting as much oxygen into your lungs as you can. And then as you exhale out through your mouth, feel your rib cage funnel down and inwards. So then starting to think about your pelvic floor. So as you lift up, think about your pelvic floor lifting. Now your pelvic floor is an intrinsic set of muscles that are attached to your two sit bones, tailbone and pubic bone. And you can imagine them as if they're like a hammock holding all of your insides up. And also we use them to control our we. So thinking about those 4 points and imagining that they're drawing towards the center of your body, and as you draw out through your mouth with your breath, lift up as if it's a lift in a building. You have 5 levels, squeezing up tighter and tighter. When you get to the top, which is busting for a wee and holding on tight, breathe in and gently release down, a bit at a time. So this is the most important part, the releasing. You don't want to push it in any way. You just want to let it glide back down bit by bit. So feel now, take your hands on top of your pelvis and place your fingers down by your pubic bone and your thumbs together just above your belly. So feeling as if those muscles under your hands are pulling away from your hands and drawing inwards towards your center, like you're wrapping a corset around your waist. So expanding those points away from each other on the inhale, and then exhale to close them all back off again. So it's a good idea to do this practice just at the beginning of each class, just so that you can connect your brain with your core. Just going into some arm arcs. So you're just going to lengthen one arm overhead at a time. Singles, keeping the back of the shoulders on the floor, not flaring the rib cage, just keeping a gentle connection through your core. And you can have a little bit of an arch through your low back, because we don't need to have it imprinted down into the floor at this point. Breathing in as you take your arm over and out as you bring it back down. We're going to take it into reciprocal, so as one arm releases back, the other one goes over. And just taking the arm as far as you can. Think about lengthening through your fingertips. And then as you take one arm overhead, you're going to circle the arms around the side, windmilling them. Palms go up to the ceiling. And let those shoulders open at the front as much as you can. If you've got a shoulder impingement, then just working within your range of motion so you don't push through pain. Let's do this last one. When we get to the center, we're going to pause and go back the other way. So all the while, lifting and releasing the pelvic floor as you breathe. Now this should pretty much happen autonomously, so if it doesn't, just practicing that. And we're going to do one more, and then take it over your chest and release down. So from here, we're going to do single dead bugs. So with your feet on the floor, arms are relaxed down, you're going to just engage your core just at a level 1, and then lift your leg as if it's floating off of the floor. And try to not let your hips kind of rock from side to side. So you want to keep that core switched on as you change the legs over. And it can release a little bit as your leg lifts. Breathing in as you lift and exhale to release down and swap. Okay, we're going to do last one on the second side. Now we're going to do doubles, and we're going to count very slowly. So we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4 to lift one leg, and then engage the core deeper, lift 1, 2, 3, 4 through the second leg. Then go down, 1, 2, 3, 4 with the first leg, and down 2, 3, 4 with the second leg. This time we're going to start on the left side, 3, 4, and then lift, 2, 3, 4. Once your legs are up in that tabletop position, you do need to think about having your lower back gently pressed into the mat. So you want to tuck that tailbone under, switch on the core a little bit deeper, just to protect that low back. Just make sure that once your feet are both back on the floor, that you release your pelvic floor. Give it a rest. So it's like any other muscle, we need to contract and then release, contract and release, and that's what builds up our strength and our stamina. So we're going to do one more with the second leg, and lifting up and then release and release. And then just bring your knees in, have a little rock and roll if that feels a bit tight through your low back. Okay, so we're going to do a combination of the arm arcs and the dead bugs. So starting with your arms up above your chest, relax your shoulders and hips into the floor. You're going to do opposite arm and leg, so lift your left leg up into tabletop. Then as you reach your left leg, you reach your right arm away. So holding through the core, not arching the back, and release the foot down. So other side, lift, extend, back in, and release down. Now, if I tell you to breathe in and at one point and out at a different point, you don't have to do it at the same time that I do. It is a good idea to breathe, but it doesn't matter if you go in or out at that point. So just whatever feels good for you. As a general rule, the inhale breath can be better for flexibility, like opening through the joints, and your exhale breath is like a stability breath. So if you're doing something a bit harder, you use your exhale breath. Breathing in, exhale to extend, back in, and then exhale to release down. Feel the front of the body switch on between your opposite hip and shoulder. And last one on the other side. Bringing it back in. Release the feet and hands down. And then bring your legs into a little rock and roll again. So just bring those knees so that your tailbone lifts up off the floor. And you can do a little circle or side to side, whatever feels good. From here, we're going to do a chest stretch. So reach those arms up in front, take the elbows out wide, and then just let the forearms fall to the floor. So we just take a few deep breaths here just to release those shoulders. Each part of the body we've used, we like to do a little stretch in between. So exhale to just feel those arms hang. And okay, so now you can use a long band for this bit. Hopefully you've got one at home. If not, you can use like a towel or just a strap if you have one. So we're going to wrap that around our right foot. Reach the right foot up to the ceiling. And then hold onto the ends of the bands and let your elbows sink towards the floor. Thinking about you lengthening up through the back of that leg as you inhale, and then as you exhale, just let that leg switch off. So you want the band to be doing the work, not the leg. Feeling the nervous system let go, so not hanging onto those joints. Feeling the muscles soften. And then lengthen that other leg along the floor as well, if that feels good. Last exhale. Then take both of those bands in the left hand and drop them across. Drop the leg across, sorry. Let the leg hang into the band. My legs are a bit sore because I did my first bar class teaching on Saturday. It was really good, but I do have a bit of muscle soreness today. So this feels really good. So just releasing that back to the center, bring the left foot back up onto the floor, take the bands in the right hand and then drop the leg and the knee out to either side. So just feeling those legs hang out, letting go through inner thigh and your glute. Try not to let your glute hang on. And try not to let your hips tip to one side either. Just keeping the back of the hips on the floor. And then draw that leg back to center. We're going to take it over to the other side. So left leg stretches up, breathing in. Exhale to let go. Feel the thigh bone become heavy in the hip. And then extending your other leg along the floor. And last exhale, release that foot a little bit. Take the bands in the right hand and drop that left leg across your body. So try and keep the back of the hip on the floor. It might lift a little bit, but you really want to try and get into the back and the side of that thigh. So feel the muscles soften. And then release back through center. Switch the bands over to the right, left hand and drop both legs out. Feel gravity helping you to open up those hips to the side. Feel the joints open. And release back to the center. Okay, we're going to move on to a little bit of core work again. So taking your hands behind your head, interlace those fingers. And we really want to let that head become heavy. Let the shoulders, the elbows, and the neck just soften and switch off. So from here, breathing in. As you exhale, draw your ribcage down and tuck your chin in to lift up, lengthening as far as you can through the back of your neck, and then inhale to release down. Exhale to lift. Inhale down. So we're shortening those muscles down the front of your core and lengthening through the back of your spine. Letting each vertebrae in your back close off the same distance as the next one. So get that nice C curve as you lift up. Okay, we're going to do a couple at the top where we hold it. So a bit of a challenge, lifting up, then inhale, reach your hands behind your knees. Exhale, draw yourself up a little bit more. Try and hold it there as you breathe in and release the fingertips behind your head, and then inhale, folding back. So exhale, coming up. Inhale, hold and reach. Exhale, come up a little bit more. Inhale, hands behind head. Exhale, down. Inhale to rest. Let's just do that a couple more times. Last one. Nice and wide through the collarbone. And once you've finished, you can lengthen your legs away. Have a little stretch. Get an arch in your back if that feels good. Just stretching those core muscles long now. And then we're going to take a rotation stretch. So bring your arms back into goalposts, so bend at the elbows, jump your hips to the right a little bit, right leg crosses over left, let your knees hang to the left, and then look over your right shoulder. So your right hip should lift up off of the floor. And if this is too much through that hip or your spine or anything like that, you can just let that top leg just stack on top of the other one. You don't have to have it crossed over. So just taking the stretching a level that is okay for you and you're able to let go. So if you can't let go with your exhale breath, you're a little bit too far into the stretch and you want to just back off a little bit. So using your core, draw those knees back to the center, uncross them. Jump your hips to the left, cross left over right, and then let your knees drop to the right and look over your left shoulder. So once again, use your inhale breath to create space. As you exhale, soften. Feel your body sink into the floor. And last exhale, draw those knees back to the center, uncross them, and then come onto your front. So now we're going to work on the back. In my opinion, this is the hardest set of muscles to do because we don't tend to do them that much, and we're working against gravity, having your body out long, facing your front. So we're going to hands under shoulders. So hands under here. Elbows can stick up like little grasshopper legs. Nice and long through your spine. Just try and make it as straight as possible. Lengthen your tailbone. Gentle lift through core. We're going to come up into a chest extension. So draw those shoulder blades down your back to lengthen through the front of your spine and close off the back of your spine. So opposite to what we were doing just now in our chest lifts. Inhale to lift. And we want to try and make sure that we're not putting too much weight through our hands. So just lift them off of the floor if you can. Hopefully you don't roll forward. Last one, up. Inhale and exhale down. We're going to lengthen your arms out long now. So really think about just letting those shoulders relax away from the earlobes before you start. We're going to lengthen through right fingertips, left toes, lift up so chest does come off of the floor. Inhale to lengthen, exhale down. Try not to let your body tip from side to side. Once again, we want that same weight through the front of your hips on the floor. It's the thigh bone up to the knee, maybe halfway up the thigh that's coming off of the mat. Nice space through the shoulders and the neck. Inhale up, exhale down. Okay, we're going to do doubles now. So all four limbs come off of the floor. Inhale to lift, exhale down. Inhale. Try and keep your gaze towards just the front of the mat, not lifting your head up. You don't want to nod your head up and down. You want to just keep it in line with your spine. Last two. Last one. And then we're going to hold it up and do just one set of swimming. So holding it up, inhale, and keep breathing as you kick your arms and legs. Just tiny little pulses. Holding it there. For 4, 3, 2, 1, release down. So just a tip, if you get any low back pain when you're doing that, you're probably curling your low back a little bit too much. So if you just put like a towel rolled up under your pelvis, that'll tilt your pelvis a little bit that way. So when you come up, it won't hurt so much, or it shouldn't hurt at all. Okay, so we're going to come into a child's pose. So press those hands under your chest. Come and sit back on your heels. If your knees don't let you sit right back, you can keep your bottom lifted and just reach your fingertips forward. Let your chest come down. If your forehead also doesn't touch the floor in this position, you could put a pillow or something in front of you just so you can relax properly. Letting go through shoulders, softening the hips. Just concentrating on your breath, expanding with the inhale and releasing with the exhale. Gently bring those hands in to come up. So I'm going to take you into a side lying position now. So just lying on your side, you can cradle your hand under your head. If that isn't comfortable, you could get a cushion or something. And then you want to stack your hips. So make sure they're both facing forward and they're stacked on top, as if you have a hinge here and your legs are like a door opening and closing. So you don't want these to move. They need to be grounded down. So switching on core, lifting waist away from the floor, relaxing through shoulders. You're going to start with oysters, so lifting and lowering up and down. Try not to lift that hip up here. We don't want that waist on the floor. We want to keep it so that you're lifting up, but not this way. Okay, so up and down. We've got 4 more. Lift and lower. 3. Last 2. Last one. Then we're going to hold the feet together. You're going to clam, so open the knee. So once again, you want to keep that top hip squeezing forward so you don't let that hip drop open. So open and close. Get a purchase on your foot. So use the foot as a lever and the hip is another lever. So keeping those 2 points there and just opening at the knee. Last one. Then we're going to elevate the feet. Keep going. Inhale to open. Exhale, close. The waist is still not on the floor. Last two. Okay, this is starting to hurt now because I did a lot of glute work on Saturday. So last time, inhale, we're going to hold it here. And the last 6 are going to extend and bend. So hold everything in place and it's just the knee bending and straightening. It's nearly over, don't worry, we're nearly there. Last 2, last 1. Oh, and when you're done, release it down, give it some love, bit of a rub, a slap, whatever feels good. Coming on to your other side, let's do it again. So lying down, back against the back of the mat. Heels in line with hips, shoulders and hips stacked. So switch on that core, draw the waist away, lifting and lowering that top leg. Inhale up, exhale down. This hand can just gently rest on the floor in front of you. Doesn't have to be there for much support, but if you do need it, it is there. Okay, holding it there. Feet together, open top knee and close. 4 more. This one starts to feel a little bit sore quicker because we've worked the other side and we're using the other side to stabilize ourselves just a little bit. Last 2. Okay, opening, no, lift the feet up, then open and close. Oh dear. 4 more. And remember, at any time, if you need to, you can stop, have a little break, shake it off. If you feel like your posture is waning, okay, last one, hold it here. We're going to open, bend and straighten. Last 5. Yeah, if you feel your posture is waning, like you're feeling stiff in your shoulders or something, you're not holding your posture right, just get out of the position, shake it out and come back. It's better to do it properly. Last one. Oh, that was bad. Okay, lifting up, hands under chest. Coming into pigeon pose. So good glute stretch after working those glutes. Right leg comes across in front, left leg behind. Keep those hips in the center. You don't want to tip over one way or the other. And then lower your chest down just as far as it's comfortable for you. So if this is as far as you can go, that's okay. Just remember to relax the shoulders. Feeling the hips open. Feel those let go. Feel your body sink to the floor. And then you can lift up, hands under your chest. So you can either sink your hips a little bit lower and get a little arch in your back, or if it's available for you today, you can grab your same foot in your hand, turn your chest back to the front and just push your hip forward. So we don't want to bend the knee in half, but pushing that foot into the hand to create a stretch through the front here, into your hip flexor and your quad. And you may have very tight quads, that means you won't be able to get that leg up, but that's okay. There's always alternatives and modifications. So left leg across now, just switching sides. Right leg goes back, I'm getting a bit warm now. Take that off. Okay, releasing forward. Just normally take a good 4 or 5 deep breaths in each rest or stretch position, just to give your body time to let go and recover between exercises. It may not look like we're doing anything strenuous, but it definitely feels like it. Okay, gently pressing those hands underneath. Once again, you can either lower your hips and arch your back, or grab that back foot in the same hand, turn the chest to the front, stretch through the front of that side body. And release. Okay, we're going to come onto our hands and knees. So you really want to stack your shoulders over your wrists and your hips over your knees. So from here, just gentle switch on through the core. Your back should be as straight as possible. If you have a natural curve through your lumbar spine, that's okay. You don't need to press it out, but just in as straight as you can go for your body. So we're going to do single arms now. So holding through your left hand, right knee, reaching your right arm out, bringing it back in, and then swap over to the other side. Now transitioning from side to side, you will feel a shift in your body because you're taking the weight from one opposite diagonal to the other. But of course, the aim is to keep it as stable as possible while doing that. If you wobble around a bit to start with, that's okay. You're only starting off. You've got to start somewhere. So give yourself time. Keep practicing. Okay, last one on the second side. Then we're going to do opposite arm and leg. No, we'll just do single legs first, sorry. So taking one leg out, lengthen, and then bring it back in. And we want to try not to. So I'll take this leg out. At this point, we're not trying to lift that hip up. So try and keep the hips facing the floor. As you can see, my back does bend a little bit as I take that leg out. But once again, trying to do it with as least amount of back bend as possible, because we're trying to work the glute and the leg muscles rather than the muscles at the back, your lower back. Okay, last one on your second side. And then we're going to do opposite arm and leg. So taking that weight, releasing, lifting up. So lengthening through toes and fingers. Feel as if someone is holding you by a harness. Your body doesn't weigh that much. Feel as if you're weightless. So you can use an in or an out breath, whichever one feels better for you in this position. Last one on the other side. And release. Okay, we'll just do a quick wrist stretch. So give your hands a shake. Elbows into your sides, take a little figure 8, moving all those bones around in your wrists and hands. Press down, tucking your hand under. Just a couple of deep breaths here. And then tuck under, pull the fingers back. And then I like to do my thumb separately as well. Remember, don't push into pain or push through pain, just until you can feel a stretch. And when you use your breath, it kind of lets go. Other side, so pushing the palm forward. And then your thumb, tucking it under. Okay, I'm going to take you into saw. So sitting up tall with your legs a little bit wider than your mat. You're going to take your arms out wide, so reach the fingertips long, lift your crown of head up. You're going to breathe in. As you exhale, you're going to turn. You're going to fold forward and reach your fingertips. One goes behind, one set goes behind, one goes forward. Then inhale, lift up, rotate to the other side, and then reach. So feel your sit bones sink into the floor. Inhale, lift, relax the shoulders. Exhale to rotate, leaning forward. Also lengthening those feet away. And then for the next couple, trying to reach those fingertips a little bit wider. So take them onto the other side of your outside of your foot rather than the inside. Reach and look under your arm, lifting up. Exhale to turn, curl forward. Feel that spine stretch. Last one on each side. Inhale, lift. Exhale to turn. Rotate, look under your arm. And then coming up, just bring those feet in together. Drop the knees out wide. Holding on. Draw your chest forward, and when you feel like you can't go any further, just let your body curl forward and hang. Just let those knees drop out. And then you can take a little butterfly swing or flap of your legs. Okay, bringing your feet underneath your body. Tucking them under, you're going to roll back, hang over the back of your heels, breathe in, you can have a little wiggle here, and take a little rock forward and back, see how it feels through your feet, maybe getting into your calves as well. So just hanging back now, breathing in through your nose, and then exhale, you're going to take your sit bones up to the ceiling. Let your body hang. Breathe in. And then exhale, lift up. Restacking one bone on top of the next. Oops, you're going to lose me now, but that's okay. I'll come forward a little bit. Inhale, relax your shoulders at the top. And then exhale, drop your chin. Let each bone in your back hang over the front and curl forward. Feeling each bone in your back switch off, each part of your body switch off as the bone comes over, stretching away from the next one. Inhale at the bottom, exhale to rise one more time. Feel the core switch back on, making yourself as tall as you can. Inhale. Give the shoulders a little roll forward and back a couple of times. Last inhale at the top. And exhale, drop your chin forward, rolling down. Let those arms guide the rest of your body. And when you get to the bottom, just take a little shake. Let your body switch off and hang. Swinging from side to side, and then you can hang here and take 4 deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. This is how I like to end most of my classes. We do a little relaxation meditation for say 2 to 5 minutes, depending on how much time we've got. So you could do that at home. Just choose any meditation. I use the app called Insight Timer, so you could use that. Really concentrating now on lengthening your upper body. Feel gravity help you out. And then after your final exhale,
you can come down. So this is where I would normally either lie down or sit down, take a little relaxation. So for now, just taking a couple of last deep breaths. So thanks for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed that, and I will be creating some more soon. So stay tuned. Thanks everyone.